Hello again, guys. This is our second lesson this week, and today we're still in magnets. We're going to talk about electromagnets. Okay, so I'm sure you have heard of electromagnets, but I'm not 100% sure if you know what they are. So electromagnets use both electricity and magnetism. And if you carry on with physics, if you really love this kind of part of science, which is forces, energy, and maybe you will learn physics one day, maybe in university, you'll realize that electricity and magnetism are actually the same kind of force. They're really connected to each other. Okay, but that's going to be only in a long time. You're going to have already a little glimpse of that in grade 12 in matric. Okay, you will learn a little bit about the connection. So to make an electromagnet, we use a magnetic material, in this case, we're going to use an iron core, okay, which is not even a magnet. Okay, it doesn't attract. It's not a magnetic material, but it's not a magnet. I don't know if you can see them, but he's hiding here, that nail. And we're going to wrap him around a wire. Okay, and we're going to connect to a wire to my little friend here, power supply. Okay, that's a power supply. So we're basically going to run a current through this wire, and that's going to create a magnetic field, okay, and eventually a magnetic force. So I just want to show you, see that you can see it. Okay, I'll just hold it. Okay, you can see that it's not magnetic. Okay, if I let that go, there's nothing there. But if I turn it on, okay, now I can actually pick up the clip. Okay, you can see it again. Alright, it becomes a magnet. As soon as I switch it off, it fell down. Okay, ceased to be a magnet. Switch it on, magnet. Switch it off, stop being a magnet. So maybe we can think together. We'll make some notes in a minute. What's the advantage of electromagnet? Okay, so I think if you were here in class, you can figure out by yourself. So the first thing is that you can switch it on and off. Okay, you've probably seen these cranes that pick up cars from cars that are just too old now, and you can just pick up that car. You switch on the magnet, pulls the car, and then you can drop it somewhere. So it's a magnet you can switch on and off, which is quite cool. The second thing that is, and this is, by the way, how a bell works. Okay, so a bell, an electric bell, okay, you'll have like a little hammer, okay, that hammers onto that bell and makes that sound. How does that work? Okay, the bell is magnetic, or the hammer is magnetic. So you switch the magnet on, okay, and attract it to the bell. Bang! And then there's a little mechanism there that switches it off straight away as soon as it touches. So now it's not magnetic anymore. So there's a spring that pushes it up. And then when it goes up again, it switches the current on. So it becomes magnetic again. Boom! Up and down, up and down, up and down. That's how an electric bell works. The other advantage for electromagnet is that we can control their strength. We can make them very, very, very powerful, much stronger than any bar magnet. So you might have heard of something called MRI. Okay, if your parents are maybe medical world, you probably would have heard of fMRI or MRI. This is a way of scanning our brain, okay, to see the activity in our brain. And a few other things, but mainly we use that machine to look at the activation in the brain. And it uses a very powerful magnet. Okay? I went to one of these once. A friend of mine works there, and I had a ring, and he said, just, you can't go there with the ring. So he just told me, take your ring off and hold that ring. I was holding the ring like this, and I stood maybe 4 or 5 meters away from that big magnet, and you can feel that it was just pulling my ring. It was so powerful. It was actually almost as strong as my force itself. And if I would get closer to it, I wouldn't be able to. Okay, it's so powerful that if you've got some people have some kind of if they had a heart problem and they might have something inside their body or anything. If you've got anything inside your body which is magnetic, okay, then you can't go to one of these MRI because it's just going to pull it out from your body and to the magnet. It's so powerful. So how do we control the strength of an electromagnet? I think one thing you would have guessed very easily, we can just control the strength of the current. So as I increase the current, okay, the magnetic field becomes strong. The second thing I can do is wrap it around more and more. more. It's not so much how long the wire is, it's how many loops have got the iron core. Okay, how many loops do I go around the magnetic material? And the third thing that increases it is having an iron core. So this electromagnet would have worked even without the iron. If I pulled out the iron, it would still be electromagnet, but it won't be as strong as it is with this iron core. We call it the iron core. The iron core focuses the magnetic field lines through it, so it makes the magnetic field even stronger. Okay, I'll pause here and make some notes for you.